Good evening, everybody. Once again, I was able to have a day where I was able to call many of you on the phone, and I feel at this time that I'm able to really connect with many of you, maybe even more than I have in the past. When I see some of you, maybe just on Sunday morning, it may just be a quick passing hello or how you doing, and not a lot of depth. But I called some of you today, and we were able to share some real stories about what's going on in your life, and how this has affected each of you and how it's affecting us. And boy, we've been cooped up here in the house now for 24 hours, and I guess this is going to be it for a while. Going out to maybe supermarkets and things like that, but we're about to have a major. I was watching the sheriff of Pinellas County, and many of the non-essential businesses of the county are going to be just shut down. And so we're going to have a lot of people without work, going to have a lot of people who are in need. We have some food, and there have been many of you who have stated that you have some resources and for us to purchase food for some people. I think in the next few weeks it's going to get even worse, and so there's a very real possibility that I'm gonna need to tap into those resources. And so we'll do what we are able to do. We don't want to call on the government what God has asked the church to do. And God has asked the church to feed those who are hungry, to clothe those who need clothes. And so we are going to be involved in those sort of things. Speaking about the government and what they've done, we have a stay-home order now, and then there is the only going out for essential things. Essential services are still open, and one of the things that originally that Governor DeSantis had shut down was churches, but they have since rescinded that after a day, I believe, saying that churches are in essential service. And of course, we know how essential church is to our individual lives. But there's back and forth if you read different news articles about whether or not we should stay open. There are stories out of Arkansas of 2/3 of an entire congregation testing positive, or 1/3 of an entire congregation. I don't want to make it sound unreal. It was a significant amount of one congregation who ended up testing positive for the coronavirus. And then, so if they were gathered in that place, then everyone then has the potential to get it. So someone sneeze, those air particles go around, and boy, you could really set your congregation up for a serious problem. And we made a decision right out of the gate that it was going to be best for us. We're in a small location, very enclosed, no windows that can basically be open. We have some doors that can be open, but because of the heat now, we pretty much keep those closed, and when we're in, we generally just run on air conditioning. So in our location, we just decided that it would be best for us to not meet, for us to go digital, and so that's what we've decided to do. And like I said, it has been a blessing for me, and I hope it's been for you, because I've been able to connect with you, and even if our conversations aren't very long, they seem to be about things that matter, real things that matter, so it's been a blessing for me. We're going to get through this. This stay-at-home order, I guess, lasts till the end of April, which, is a long haul for us, but we can get through this. We can do this. Reminded of Philippians 4, 6, and 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but pray in everything through thanksgiving. Bring your requests before God, and the beauty of this is there's a promise attached to this. God says to bring our requests. Don't be anxious. Don't worry about it. Don't fear about it. But just basically come to Him with our requests, okay? And then there's a promise attached to it. The promise is not that He is going to basically eliminate the circumstances that you're in. He's not basically going to take away whatever's going on in your life. But what the promise is that He's going to give you peace. He goes on, he says, and I think it's verse 7, and the peace of God. The peace of God, that is where true peace is. True peace is in God. And that peace will guard our hearts and our minds in Christ Jesus. It's like insulation for our inside. It's insulation for our hearts and our minds, because at this time it's our hearts and our minds that tend to go crazy, stir crazy, maybe cabin fever, those types of things. And the peace of God will guard our hearts and minds. It's going to insulate our hearts and minds to keep them strong, to keep our focus where it should be, and to strengthen our faith in these times. And so I pray and I encourage you to read Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7 today, and just rest in that. And, and the pre-qualification is that you bring your request to God. All right. Just talk to Him. All right. Just talk to Him. Get alone in your room, whatever. No TV, no computer, no phone. For maybe 5 minutes, just get alone and pour out your heart to Him. We talked the other day about the lament. There's some things that maybe you need to lament over. You need to just pour out to God. Why is this happening? Where are you in all of this in my life and all these things? And that's okay. Just get in there and be real with Him. We oftentimes are real with each other, but when we come to God, we think that He doesn't want us to be real. He knows what's going on in our hearts, and so you can just pour it out to Him anyway. Just pour it out to Him. And when you do that, God promises to give you peace and promises to guard your heart and your mind. Okay? That's great news. I'll see you again tomorrow night. Okay? God bless you. I love you. If you need anything, you know who to call. Okay? I'll do my best to. I do have some food available. And so if you do need anything, please give me a shout, all right? I love you. Bye-bye.